there are three things that I believe that we should all strive to be, and that is uncomfortable, unrealistic, and unstoppable. I'm going to repeat that. There are three things that I believe that we all must strive to be in order to reach your goals, in order to reach your dreams, in order to make things happen. You have to be uncomfortable, unrealistic, and unstoppable. Why do you have to be uncomfortable? Here's what I realized, that nothing significant happens in our comfort zone. It was Brian Tracy that said that your comfort zone is your danger zone. Why? Because nothing significant happens there. It was Donald Trump that said that your comfort zone is in direct opposition of your greater self. It's in your comfort zone that we tend to accomplish the least significant things in our lives. And here's what I say to you, that I believe that as you look at your life, as you think about your goals, as you think about the things that you're looking to accomplish, that everything that you're looking to accomplish, everything that you're looking to actually accomplish in life lies just outside of your comfort zone. You see, ladies and gentlemen, nothing significant happens in your comfort zone. Nothing significant happens when you're not being stretched. Nothing significant happens when you're not fearful. Nothing significant happens when you're not experiencing any doubt. No, the true growth, the times that we really get to know ourselves, the times that we begin to accomplish extraordinary things is when we decide to truly become uncomfortable. And as I look at my own personal life, I think about the different times that I had the greatest growth, the times that I discovered something new about myself, the times that I completely shifted my life. It was in moments that I was completely uncomfortable. You see, ladies and gentlemen, in 2004, I had to get completely outside of my comfort zone, because it was in 2004 that I was working for a very large, prestigious corporation. And I had given literally 5 years of college education, 4 years getting my undergraduate degree, another year getting my master's degree, and interning and finally landing a job with this company. It's after putting in all that time and all that energy and all that effort that I finally got to the place where I knew that something was saying, Andy, there's got to be more than this. And you see, it was in 2004 that I made the decision to get uncomfortable. It was in 2004 that I finally made the decision to walk into the office in Tammy Klein, and despite all of the years that I put in college, despite studying and preparing for the CPA exam, despite spending all that money on my college education, despite the fact that I was getting this automatic transfer to my bank account every 2 weeks in the form of a check, despite all of that, I walked in there completely uncomfortable. And I made the decision that I was going to pursue my goals, that I was going to pursue my dreams. And you see, ladies and gentlemen, that was completely uncomfortable. But it was because I was willing to be uncomfortable. It was because I was willing to push myself outside of my comfort zone that I'm able to do what I'm doing right now, being an entrepreneur, speaking into people's lives, helping them to paint a larger vision of themselves, because I was willing to get uncomfortable, because I was willing to be uncomfortable. Later on in that same year, I purchased my first piece of real estate. And I remember sending that wire with borrowed money. I remember feeling sick to my stomach, feeling completely uncomfortable. But because I was willing to get uncomfortable, I launched my real estate career. And I can remember over a year ago having countless conversations about creating this call, knowing that this call was going to make me uncomfortable, knowing that this call was going to force me to stretch, knowing that this call was going to hold me accountable every single Thursday to bring you a fresh new message week after week. I knew it was going to cause me to stretch, cause me to grow, but I was willing to get uncomfortable. And here's what I say to you, is as you look at your life right now, as you think about your goals, your dreams, the things that you know that you've been wanting to do, that you've been meaning to do, that the only way that you're going to accomplish those things is if you're willing to get completely uncomfortable. You see, it's uncomfortable to write that book. It's uncomfortable to start that business. It's uncomfortable to walk away from that job that you've been working at year after year, knowing that something inside of you is saying that there has to be more. It's uncomfortable to change your financial situation around. It's uncomfortable to change your health around. It's uncomfortable to lose the weight, but it's only if you're willing to become uncomfortable that you can create this life. This life that you've been talking about, this life that you've been dreaming about, this life that you know that you absolutely deserve. That chances are right now, if you're listening to my voice and you're not uncomfortable, you have literally gotten comfortable with life. You're not feeling stressed. You're not feeling challenged. You're not feeling and experiencing anything new. You're not discovering anything new about yourself. If you're in your comfort zone, chances are there's nothing significant happening in your life. But here's what I know. That as long as you can hear my voice right now, that at any moment you can make the decision, and you will make that decision to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. Why? Because that's what it takes in order for you to make those goals, those dreams, that vision, the thing that you want to become a reality. You have to be willing to get completely uncomfortable. But it's not enough, ladies and gentlemen. It's not enough to just get uncomfortable. No, you've got to be completely unrealistic. But Andy, I don't understand. What do you mean be unrealistic? All my life I was told, be realistic as you think about your goals and your dreams. Be realistic. Make sure that your dreams, that they're feasible, that's something that you can accomplish. Be realistic. And here's what I say to you. That if you decide to just simply be realistic, it's the fastest road to living an average, mediocre life. Here's what I realize that's common between people who live extraordinary lives, people that have created massive success, people that have made a significant impact in this world. They all have something in common. They were all a little delusional. Yeah, they were all just a tad bit crazy. They were all completely unrealistic. See, ladies and gentlemen, it's unrealistic to believe that a young lady can be born to an unwed teenage mom, and after being born in poverty in Mississippi, being so poor that she has to put potato sacks on as dresses at time, to be raped at the age of 8, at 14 to become pregnant, to run away from home, to move in with her father that has a very modest life as a barber. It's unrealistic to look at that girl and say that that young lady is going to become the most influential woman on the planet, that young lady is going to become a billionaire. That's unrealistic. Say it with me. That's unrealistic. But thank God, Oprah Winfrey had no problem with being unrealistic. You see, it's unrealistic to think that you can walk into a dark room, hit a light switch, and it light up. But thank God, Thomas Edison had no problem with being unrealistic. Say with me, that is unrealistic. It's unrealistic, ladies and gentlemen, to think that you can go to New York, step into a bent-up piece of metal, and literally defy the law of gravity. 7.5 hours, have a cockpit door open, and you be standing in London. That is unrealistic. But thank goodness the Wright brothers had no problem with being unrealistic. It's unrealistic to think that African Americans make up less than 13% of the U.S. population, and that there has never, ever been an African American vice president, president, It's unrealistic to think that a gentleman out of Chicago can run for presidency and actually win. That's unrealistic. And here's what I say to you, that right now, as you look at your life, as you think about your goals, your dreams, the things that you're looking to accomplish, if as you share those goals, those dreams with your family, with your friends, with the people who are important to you, if every time you have those conversations, if no one is looking at you and looking at you as if you're crazy, if no one is questioning you, if nobody is saying, be more realistic, if nobody's saying that your dreams are too big, if nobody is saying, do you really think that you can do that, if no one is looking at you like you are absolutely crazy, here's what I believe. That perhaps, that you're not dreaming big enough. Because the only way that you can do something extraordinary with your life is for you to dream a dream that intimidates you. It's to dream a dream that literally, as you look at it, that you ask yourself, how am I going to do this? Dexter Yeager said that if the dream is big enough, then the odds don't matter. Nietzsche said that the man or the woman who knows the why for living can endure almost anyhow. How is none of your business. It's not your job to be realistic. And here's what I say to you, that those individuals that as you share your goals, as you share your dreams, and they look at you like you're absolutely crazy, that it's okay for them not to believe in your goal and dream. It's okay for them to question what it is that you're trying to accomplish. It's okay for them to think that it's unrealistic because it's not their dream. No, it was given to you and nobody else. And it's not your job to defend your dream. It's not your job to try to make it seem realistic to those around you who are limited, who are challenged, who don't believe in dreaming big, for those who don't think it's possible. It's not for you to dim your light, to make them feel more comfortable. No, ladies and gentlemen, you have to get literally comfortable with being completely unrealistic, because in order for you to make that goal become a reality, to make that dream, that thing that you have in your heart, that you know that you've been putting aside, that thing that you know that you've been wanting to do, that you've been meaning to do, that you've been putting off, in order for that thing to become a reality, not only do you have to be completely uncomfortable and be completely unrealistic, finally, ladies and gentlemen, you have to be completely 100% unstoppable. And when you become unstoppable, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't mean that there's not going to be trials. It doesn't mean that there's not going to be setbacks. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have roadblocks. It doesn't mean that you're not going to doubt yourself at times. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have fear to encounter. It doesn't mean that everything is going to go your way. No, what it means to be unstoppable is, here's what you say, that despite the fear, despite the setbacks, despite the circumstances, despite the challenges, despite the doubt, that I am going to make this thing happen, that no excuse will absolutely fill this gap, that there's only one thing that is going to happen if an obstacle gets in my way. Either I will go around it, over it, under it, or through it, but nothing, absolutely nothing, is going to stop me from making this thing happen. Because, ladies and gentlemen, that's what's required for you to become completely unstoppable. I think about this young man that I met earlier in the year, and he was interested in learning how to invest in real estate. And when he first met me, he was approaching me about potentially mentoring him. But at the time, he had no resources. And I went through the laundry list of the stuff that is required for him to have success. And I said, do you have a computer? And he said, no, but I'm not going to let that stop me. I said, okay, well, do you have a car? You're going to need a car to go look at these properties. You're going to have to go in your car and you need transportation. You do have a car, don't you? I did have a car, but it broke down. So I don't have a car right now, but I'm not going to let that stop me. Okay, well, you don't have a computer, you don't have a car. Do you have money? You're going to need some money to make a deposit, to make down payments. Do you have any money? No. No, I don't have any money right now. I was hoping that that's something you'd be able to help me out with. You don't have a computer, you don't have a car, and you don't have any money, and you're looking to invest in real estate. And I just couldn't understand. And throughout this year, he's called me over and over and over again, asking me questions over and over and over again. And here's what he's been doing, ladies and gentlemen. That same young man, here's what he's been doing. He said, I don't have a computer, but I'm not going to let that stop me. Why? Because he gets on a bicycle every single day, leaves his house, and goes to the library, sits and waits for a computer to become available, looks for properties. And when he finally finds a property, he prints it out and he maps it using Google Maps, and he uses the Google Maps and goes from the library on his bike. Sometimes it takes him 1 hour to get there and 1 hour to get back. And he's been doing that all year long. And all year long, he's been missing out on properties because of the fact he couldn't get there fast enough, because of the fact that he didn't have the resources. But he said, I'm not going to let that stop me. And this same young man that decided not to be stopped by not having a computer, that decided not to be stopped because of the fact that he didn't have a vehicle, this same young man is going to be meeting me tomorrow at the title company. And most likely he's going to have to get a ride because he still doesn't have a car. He's meeting me tomorrow at a title company to close his first real estate deal where he should make a little over $9,000. All because he was willing to be unstoppable. He said, I don't have a computer, but that's not going to stop me. I don't have a car, but that's not going to stop me. I don't have the money, but that's not going to stop me. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what's required. That's what's required when you say that I'm going to be completely unstoppable. You understand that it doesn't matter what the circumstances are. It doesn't matter what the challenges are. You're going to figure it out somehow, some way. You're going to make it happen. He said that there's no such thing as a roadblock. Whatever the roadblock is, it's not blocking me from my next step. It is the next step. That's the mentality. When you decide that you're going to be completely unstoppable, when you decide that you're going to be completely unstoppable, you understand that when things go wrong, as they sometimes will, unstoppable. When the road you're trudging is all uphill, unstoppable. When the funds are low and the debts are high, unstoppable. And you want to quit, but still you try, unstoppable. When care is pressing you down a bit, unstoppable. Rest if you must, but don't you quit. Why? Unstoppable. In the words of Leslie Calvin Brown, my mentor Les Brown, if you want to sing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, if life seems useless and worthless without it, if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold, poverty, famine, nor gout, sickness, nor pain, or body and brain can keep you away from that thing that you want, if dogged and grim you besiege and beset it, with the help of God, you'll get it. Why? Because you are unstoppable. Right now, as you look at your life, and as you think about What's required for you to make this dream, this thing that you've been working on, for it to become a reality, for you to change your situation around, for you to get out of this rut, for you to get unstuck, for you to be able to pick up that thing that you've been wanting to do, but somehow, some way, life has beating it out of you. Somehow, some way, you've talked yourself out of it. For you to finally publish that book, for you to finally start that business, for you to finally make that dream become a reality. It's going to require for you to be completely uncomfortable, unrealistic, and unstoppable. Uncomfortable, unrealistic, unstoppable. If you haven't written them down, write them down. Uncomfortable, unrealistic, unstoppable. And here's what I could tell you right now. See, most people are comfortable in their lives. Most people are being completely realistic when it comes to their goals and dreams. And most people are stoppable. But thank God you're not most people. This has been Andy Henriquez reminding you to always show up for your life. Because if you don't, ladies and gentlemen, no one else